that's a good question on how we're gonna deal with that.
I think we should. I think we need
And I
to.
already went under you.
Oh, you're doing this again, huh?
Just the beginning.
Oh, I thought you liked it
You
so
don't get
much.
me all night, just good.
This needs to go back that way, I can't. Okay, Ms. Kina, are you ready?
I am.
Let me be sure I have my agenda up here.
Are you gonna tell me you don't have one too?
No, I've got it.
Okay,
I just gotta get it to the top here,
cause I was starting to wonder if I.
'cause I'd put it on the bottom. We need to send that this way, I think. This is one. There's one left. Okay. Okay. Okay, are you ready?
Yep.
The meeting will come to order. For public information, there's a copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act posted in the back of the meeting room on the east wall, if you need to read that. We'll have roll call.
Harris,
Here,
Meyer,
Here.
Reisig,
Here.
Blue,
Here.
you'd all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, the next item is to get approval of the agenda and consider any modifications. Any discussion? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented. Any other discussion? Hearing none,
there.
we'll vote electronically.
You have 4 yeses.
All right, motion's carried. I want to be sure and mention some of the things that I like to discuss during the meeting or prior to the meeting. Want to remind everyone that this meeting is being recorded. It'll be broadcast at a later date. So we want everyone to remember that if you want to speak, once you are recognized, you can come forward and come to the microphone, state your name for the record, spell your name for the record, which assists the county clerk in doing her minutes. Remember, there's no swearing or no inappropriate language. We all need to check our cell phones, try and turn them off or to silent so that they won't disturb the meeting. Also want to remind the commissioners to speak clearly and loud and directly into your microphone, again, so that any of the recorded information can be heard easily by those trying to listen to the meeting later. Depending on how long this meeting takes, we will take about an 8-minute recess midway through the meeting. We'll just see how long it lasts, and then we'll go from there. I do want to, remind everyone that at the end of this meeting, we do have a detention center tour. We, by state statute, have to do that once every quarter, and we'll be doing it after the meeting here, or as part of the final part of this meeting. The next item is the board reserves the right to enter into closed session if deemed necessary. We do have a couple of different executive sessions that are on the agenda that we intend to go into. But this also addresses that if something comes up during the meeting unexpected, that we could possibly go into executive session for another reason. So, especially if our council felt that it was appropriate. Okay. The next item is the consent agenda. These items on the consent agenda are intended to be adopted by one action from the commissioners unless one of the commissioners want it separated out to talk about separately.
I move for approval.
I'll second.
A motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as presented. Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote.
You have 4 yeses.
All right, motion's carried. We'll go down to the next item, which is Board of Equalization. We'll need a motion to go into the Board of Equalization.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to go into Board of Equalization. We'll vote. Russ, yours didn't come up.
Oh,
Yours didn't come up.
You have 4 yeses.
Motion's carried. So first item is discuss and consider approval of 4 vehicle exemptions from the Panhandle Development Disability Services in Scotts Bluff. Ms. Heather?
So these are 4 brand new vehicles for Panhandle Developmental Disability Services. They are in Scotts Bluff. They say to transport people with developmental disabilities from home to day services, work, doctor's appointments, entertainment, shopping, and recreation. The tax loss on these is $5,040. And they are a tax exempt organization.
I would move for approval.
I'll second.
All right. We have a motion and a second to approve the 4 vehicle exemptions. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and vote.
You have 4 yeses.
Motion's carried. The next item is discuss and consider approval of the chairman's signature on financial report. Sorry, I'm reading on the wrong one. Consider approval of 2023 uncollectible distress warrant resolution.
This is a resolution that I bring to you guys every year. Every year in November, on November 1st, we send up distress warrants, and in July, we get them back. I've gone through all of the distress warrants that we got returned this last year, and the assessor's office helped me make corrections to things that were no longer there, businesses that we believed were entirely uncollectible. So we just have 3 that would potentially go up again for next year, and they're listed on the sheet. So it would be up to you guys as to whether or not you want to strike those, or whether or not you would like us to try and recollect those.
Don't you continually do that, Heather?
We do it every year.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is, like I said, what was left over from the 2023 distress warrant. So there were only 3. There were quite a few mobile homes this year that had gotten destroyed, so we already took them off of our list. And I'll let you want to comment.
Just that, we appreciate Heather going through this process, because in prior years, you've had a long list of these, and some of them are mobile homes, and it's just almost no money. And we go out there and the mobile home is just trashed, nobody can live in it, and so it's pretty much uncollectible. So to get this list, and I don't know how big the list was that you started with,
Probably about 15 left.
but
And everything that's on the list right now has a 2024 statement going forward. So it's not anything that, like, if you take these ones off the list, I'll be back again next year with the 2024 taxes unless the assessor's office can work to get rid of those. Does that make sense?
I think one of my comments in the past has been that, I agree that some of these are so, low, and, we're not professional collectors, although we have a little bit of strong arm ability, a little bit. And, so, my only concern is, these again are low enough that it probably doesn't make quite so much difference, but if we have some that seem to be uncollectible but are larger amounts, I'm just, have had the opinion that it's hard to drop them when, if there was another way to deal with it, and I think that I've suggested in the past to possibly turn it over to a collections agency.
Which
And
I
s-
believe we are unable to do that.
And because of state
I-
statute,
yeah.
or, okay? And so, do we know that for sure, or,
It's what I've been told, and like I said, these are all distress warrants that I'm planning on reissuing unless you tell me otherwise. At the very bottom of this list, there's a mobile home, which there again is for 3 years worth of taxes and have a 2024 tax bill. So if you want me to strike that one, I can. Same
My-
with the other one. I would prefer to try one more time to get the first one,
The 4,500.
the 4,500.
I'd like to, yep, I agree with that.
But the other two, if you guys would want to strike them, their total value is less than $500. That's completely up to you.
Can you tell me again on that bottom one, is that trailer gone now? Is it not there any longer?
I don't think that it's gone, but I don't know if anybody lives in it.
Okay. Heather,
How about if, just as a suggestion, that if we have those, like the ones that you were just talking about, that totaled up to 500, that you give a recommendation to us that these aren't really worth going after, and we can make
I
it,
would say that
and make a
I
decision
would say
on it.
that these probably are not worth going after. But like I said, I think that the first one is completely worth going after because there's a 2024 amount for over $3,000.
Yeah,
that will be up
and those
here
I have no
next year.
problem with, but you've got those that are out there that, until we pay deputies or whatever else to try to serve.
one
It-
of these is
$19.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Sell
Eh,
something and it doesn't sell.
Yeah.
and it's not
just-
worth thinking about it,
So
just
if
quite
you,
frankly.
like you
just
said,
let it go.
I have the resolution that says that we can strike them. So if you want us to strike them and not reissue the distress warrants, I'm completely okay
You
with
know,
that.
you know more about them than we do, and so your recommendation,
And we have
to do
whittled
something.
down this list. We've gotten rid of quite a few this year, working with the assessor's office, and we don't, to be honest, we don't get a whole lot back from the sheriff's office because they do a really good job collecting. When we get something back from the sheriff's department, it's because they can't find the people or it's gone. I mean, they work really hard.
I have an example in my office that happened in the last 30 days where we've had, $4,000 or so owed to us, turned it over to collections, nothing for 3 years. All of a sudden, at the end of 3 years or so, I got it all of our portion. And, which was only about half, but,
Well, and when we strike, when I say strike, it's not striking the taxes
Gone.
off of the tax roll. They're still, personal property and mobile homes don't ever technically come off of your tax roll unless there's a correction issued. They are always collectible, so if you were to have somebody that had a business that closed and reopened 10 years later and we knew that that was out there, we could collect it.
and again, sometimes people's personal situation changes
Now-
because of inheritance or whatever other reason. Their situation changes and all of a sudden they might have some money that they wouldn't have had otherwise. And so, I just wanna be sure we don't give it up and then those kind of things happen.
Can't we just lien those and not give it up, just put a lien on a
I mean, if we don't, if you don't wanna strike these tonight, then we'll just go ahead and reissue distress warrants for them next year. I'm just saying the last one on the list is, 21 through 23 taxes, so there's already 3 years worth of taxes. So I don't know if we'll get 21 through 24 or
We
not.
might not, but if you put a lien on it, they can't transfer the title,
I-
they can't do anything.
I have
We
no
can't-
way of putting
We
a
have no
lien
way
on
to
it.
put a lien on property.
A distress warrant is basically the lien.
Oh,
That's what it is. Well, I'm okay with, if you continue
I'd stay away
with the
with it.
thought that and I think you're saying that you're still able to collect on some of these.
I would say that, like I said, this list, if you wanna take a look at, do you have any opinions? I think, like,
That you have,
the last,
we don't disagree.
the last two are probably uncollectible. The 1913 and the 452.85. Those I would say are probably uncollectible,
Leave
but
the other.
I would certainly not want to let the 4587.19 go without trying at least one more time because there is a 2024 tax statement.
so then it'll go up for sale, is that what
And,
we're gonna do?
well, a lot of times with personal property, it could be that that business closed, but that nobody bothered to let the assessor's office know. And when they don't let the assessor's office know, it continues, to have a personal property schedule. Now, if they
So that-
come in and they say, we close that business in 2023, then the assessor's office can correct that
So
amount.
that- I see. So can they be contacted to
This is
verify
not
that?
real property.
Pardon?
This is not real
This is
property,
not,
this is
yeah,
personal
this is
property.
personal property.
Okay,
And so you can't put a lien on personal property that we don't have,
well, that's true.
because it was probably part of a business.
No, I thought it was real estate.
No, it's not real estate.
No,
So the resolution that you gave to us would,
the
do what
resolution,
you suggested?
yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to read that? Or,
I think you pretty much explained it. I guess maybe we should read it for those that might hear
Okay.
this later in a recording.
okay. So whereas the County Treasurer of Scotts Bluff County, Nebraska has submitted a list of personal property taxes that appear uncollectible from the distress warrant return of the County Sheriff of Scotts Bluff County, and whereas this list contains taxes that are delinquent for the 2023 and prior years, and the treasurer has used due diligence to collect them, and whereas the Board of County Commissioners has reviewed this list and marked the taxes it wishes to be stricken as required by law. Be therefore resolved that the County Treasurer of Scotts Bluff County is hereby directed and authorized to strike said personal property taxes so noted from the tax roll of Scotts Bluff County in accordance with the provisions of 77-1738 revised statutes of Nebraska 1943 as amended.
Okay. And then that would mean those two on the bottom.
I would, yeah, that would be my recommendation.
Okay. So, any other discussion?
Any way we can follow up on that first item for the 4,500 and find out when that business actually closed and,
We will.
yeah, if we can check that out and maybe that'll just go away on its own.
Yeah, and
Maybe
I believe, I'm not sure the sheriff's office knew who owned that business,
I do.
but the assessor's office did, so.
Yeah.
So we don't have, just our conversations.
I would move for approval.
I'll second that.
And that's for those
Yes.
two on the bottom.
Two on the bottom.
And the resolution.
What's that?
And the resolution.
Right,
And the resolution.
that's what you're,
Yeah.
Correct.
Do you have his copy to
okay?
sign?
Thank you.
So we have a motion and a second to approve the resolution, particularly with those
This is what we
two items, at the bottom, which are
Which isn't
a lesser amount. Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and vote.
You have 4 yeses.
Motion's carried. All right, let's go on to the next item, which is consider approval of 2025 county tax sale resolution.
So county tax sales are tax sales that the county takes out on property. And I've given you guys a list of it. It's actually quite long this year. These are taxes that have been up to the public tax sale twice and nobody has taken a tax sale out on them. Somebody can still come in and pay the taxes and turn a county tax sale into a private tax sale. But this basically says that the county is putting a tax sale on it so that 3 years from now, we can foreclose on it and sell the property and try and get the taxes collected.
We can do that now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so this list right here is everything that we have left that hasn't been paid for 2023 and prior that doesn't have a tax sale on it or a county tax sale on it currently. So, and our list is long this year. So there's a total, even though the list is long, there's still, 3,829.19 that'll go into county tax sale. So even though the list is long, the value is low. So, and these are people who have not paid the taxes. They can come in and pay the taxes and they can redeem the county tax sale at any time also within the next 3 years, and we hope that they do that. So I have a resolution for that, but before I read that, does anybody else have any other questions on that?
So that's what I noticed as well, and that's that our list is fairly long, but some are minimal.
They are very minimal.
$9, the highest one's $307, the way I see it.
And I believe that that one is multiple year, they're all multiple years
Yeah,
because they all are at least 23 and 24. Some of them had prior tax sales on them that investors didn't follow through on.
right,
These are kind of our mess
right,
parcels.
and they're not desirable, nor is the amount enough for investors to be interested.
Yeah,
And so, yeah, you end up with some that are just not saleable.
yeah,
Okay,
so,
any other questions?
I would move for approval.
I'll second that.
We are gonna let Miss Heather read it.
you need me to
We
read
do
it?
have a motion and a second to approve it, but I think we should for the listening audience.
Okay. So whereas the county treasurer submitted a listing of delinquent real estate taxes and special assessments to the county board, and whereas section 77-1918 of the revised statutes of the state of Nebraska states that the county board of commissioners may instruct the county treasurer to issue tax sale certificates on delinquent parcels, be it therefore resolved that the county treasurer of Scotts Bluff County, Nebraska issue tax sale certificates to said county converting the parcels of real estate on which taxes are delinquent for 3 or more years and that are not now under tax sale certificates. Such delinquent taxes have been advertised for 2 consecutive years in a legal newspaper published in Scotts Bluff County as prescribed by law.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second to adopt this resolution. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and vote.
You have 4 yeses?
Motion's carried.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Let me sign this for you here. Okay, the next item under Board of Equalization is to receive the tax list corrections. Robert's not here for that, but we have, 2 of them this evening. Are there any questions from commissioners?
I'd move for approval.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the tax list corrections. Is there any discussion?
Both of those units were moved out is why they adjusted them.
Yeah, it says mobile homes moved out,
Right.
okay? All right, hearing no other discussion, we'll go ahead and vote. Do we have a motion?
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, I thought we did.
Yeah, you did.
You have 4 yeses?
Motion's carried.
Before we go out of Board of Equalization, I want to have
Go
a
ahead.
concern. I'm sure all of you received the letter from the Tax Equalization Review Commission indicating that we're being taken to Turk by the county assessor.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
you know that.
What, you're sitting there going like this, like you knew that?
I knew
Yeah,
that.
we did.
Well, he told us that
Yeah, he told
during
us that
Okay.
a long time
tax
ago.
protest
The
time.
concern I have is who's going to be representing the board at that hearing?
I don't think we know at this point, but
Yeah.
I think
It's something that we
Between
probably ought
Jason
to be
and-
looking into.
I agree.
Dave Eubanks, we're gonna need to
So
figure that
speaking
out.
to the county attorney's office, Kirk Fellholter, deputy county attorney, is planning on attending the hearing
On our behalf, is that
for the
correct?
county, yes.
Okay. Okay. For those in the audience, first of all, I wanna welcome all of the candidates for the board position. Recognize, thank you for coming. I think you had something prior to our meeting, is that correct? Okay. Welcome, everybody. Good luck. I don't know why you wanna do that, but that's okay. But for those that don't understand that, if you come in and protest your taxes and you don't like the decision of that protest, whether it be from the assessor's office or from our board, the next step is to take it to, well, they call it TURC, which is Nebraska Tax Equalization Review Commission. And they'll review all the information and then make a final decision of whether the board was correct or whether the assessor's office was correct. And, the assessor wasn't happy with one of our decisions, so he's taking us to court. So I just wanna make sure that we're being represented.
Yes.
Okay. That's all I have for that.
He feels the county's entitled to more revenue, and we felt like we gave him what was right, so we're trying to be fair with the constituency as well. And we gotta meet somewhere in the middle.
Okay, so, I think that takes care of the things under Board of Equalization. Do we have a motion to go out?
I moved we go out of Board of Equalization.
I'll second it.
So we have a motion and a second to go out of Board of Equalization. Let's go ahead and vote.
You have 4 yeses?
Motion's carried. The next item, is the road and bridge items. Steve Baird's the superintendent, and he's here. Our first item is receive superintendent's annual report.
It's okay to plug this in. Okay. See if it works.
Oh, it was for which, for one? Info for four, I thought. That might be home. I'm four. Okay, for me to push it, and we'll see. Yeah, there you go.
you have anything different than what you put for the packet?
No.
Do you want me to pull the
Set
packet up?
over here.
You can, I just needed a brief. Maybe it'll work.
You get it?
Oh, there you go.
You got it?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, this is our yearly annual certification we are required to do by NDOT. A lot of this is repetition as to what we do, all the different processes we go throughout the year with the 1 in 6 and budget and that sort of thing, so a lot of this is repetition. We have about 8 or 9 bullet points on here that, things we have to do, like the first one on here is, we gotta do it the 1 in 6 year plan. A lot of this is accounting, 4 or 5 of those points are all accounting processes, like our budget, that we show we do a budget, that we do cost accounting for repairs, that we're putting repairs to a bridge or a road, that we're showing that we are putting, those costs to those roads, which we do. So anytime we gravel a road, we put it in on what section of road, we have those roads all coded in our system. We can tell you how many loads of gravel, how many trucks, and how long it took them to do, and show those costs. With the accounting side of all this, we also do the machines, equipment costs, and there's inventory all in this. And like I said, and plus all the budget process that goes through here with what we spend as we go. So the first one that we call here is just our financial report. This is just the budget. The first column on the left is budget last year, what we actually expended, and the estimates for the next year budget, which we just really went through all this. These are just the numbers. I think the big thing here, the highlight, is at the bottom. In the bottom box, we're required to match 25% of our highway allocation every year. Last year for 24-25, we had a 40% match for that. So the next sheets you have in your packet are all just the budget and expenditure report. Like I said, it's a lot of repetition. We just went through all this really in our budget this year when we did budgets. What we had last year in our budget, what we actually expended, and then the right column is what we budgeted for next year. So, and this is one reason why we wait for this report to do it this time of year, because we really can't do any of this till we know what our budget is for next year. So, and there's, oh goodness, 5-6 pages. Each line item of the budget as you go through that is in there. Like I say, a lot of repetition with this. This part here, this is what we call the Form 1F. We did cover this part in our 1 in 6. This was the Form 11 in the 1 in 6. This shows projects that we completed in that 1 year. So like the first project in there, the 145 project, the $819,000, that is the County Road M Bridge. The next one over, the $150,000, was the pipe over on County Road 19, I believe it was. The next one, $359,000, is the West River Bridge. And the reason that's only $359 is because that's what the road department expended. The project was over $2 million. The rest of that was paid through the ARPA funds. So this is just what the road department expended on that one. In the bottom section there, the 861 for bituminous, that was 2 miles of Stegall overlay. The next one over, the 202,000, was for the East River Bridge repairs for the expansion joint repair. And then the last one there, the 74,000, was for a pipe replacing a timber bridge over in Morrow on County Road 9. So these are all projects that we're required. Anytime we pay a contractor over $10,000, we have to submit this Form 1F. So the next one is just the revenue sheet. Once again, this is all done on the budget. Let's say a lot of repetition. Where we get our money from local sources, the state sources. And of course, as you know, the highway allocation is our huge funding resource of the $3.5 million a year. So this one here is just a box saying that we don't have a local option sales tax. I think this form here is actually optional, but I do it every year anyway. So, and then we get into the equipment costs that we are required to keep. That's all part of, like, I think the 7 and 8 bullet points back at the beginning that we keep. So we can tell you on which piece of equipment, how much fuel, what in tires was spent on it, and, all that good stuff, I guess. So, it's all in the inventory. All this has to be inventoried. Another part as far as inventory that goes in this report is the inventory we submit to you in August. I didn't include that in your packets because we just submitted all that in August, September. And that's the same inventory that I gave you back then. So I didn't put that in your packets to make it 2 inches thick.
It wouldn't have said.
So, but this is all the cost of the equipment. As you can look through the green, fuel usage, oil, grease. And of course, there's quite a few pages of that, so. To sum that up, I guess that is pretty much what our annual report looks like, to show that we're keeping track of the costs and doing our 1 and 6 year plan, so.
Steve, I have a question, may I ask
Yes.
a question? So, my name is Lisa Betts Marquez, I'm from Gearing. I was curious about the gravel, cause there are so many gravel roads. Where does the gravel come from that we use for the county?
So I would say probably a third of the gravel, I can't say it's half, probably a third of the gravel comes from the Simons contractors over here on Beltline. And then the other part comes from REM screening, which is, we call pit run gravel. It's just like, a lot of it's gravel hills, and they doze it up in a pile, screen it to get down to more, regular size, more, what do I call, stable or not stable, but,
Like crushed concrete? that
yeah, it's not really
doesn't roll as
crushed
much,
concrete,
but-
just so you don't have 2-inch rock in it, 1/4-inch rock. We buy a lot of it from there. We have pits in, north of Mitchell, one up north of Scotts Bluff here, and there's one over north of Minnetonka, up by the lake.
Where
And
in
that's where we get
Mitchell?
those.
Is that
It's
a
actually-
privately owned place?
Yes, these are all privately owned. The contractor has the agreement with them, so we just buy it from the contractor, and then whatever his agreement is with them, he's responsible for paying them, or whatever agreement he has with the landowners. We just pay the contractor by the ton.
Okay.
So-
And when do those contracts get, is there like an RFP that goes out?
Yes, we do. We take bids in the spring. Usually it's March, April, I believe, when we take bids for that. And usually we only get the 2 bids. We get them from Simons and REM screening, because we just don't have a lot of gravel sources around
I've
here.
never heard of REM screening.
So it's not really, it's not pumped gravel, so it's not washed like what you would see from Simons. So, it's, of course, it's cheaper. So right now, I believe we're paying $16.50 a ton for Simons, where the REM screening is down to 10, 12 bucks, depending on the pit,
Okay,
a ton.
thank you.
So, yeah.
Contractor's daughter, just curious. Thank you.
So, are there any questions, other questions on this annual report that we have, which is the first item? Alright, so, Steve, do we need to have a motion to accept this, do you think,
Yes, I believe you need a motion
to receive it?
to accept the annual certification. That would be the, this first sheet back here.
The report, or are you doing certification?
I'm talking about just the report, I guess
Well, I think the
we're gonna
report
do
is-
it on the next one.
Right, so,
Okay. So we're gonna approve it on this next form here, I think.
First one
So-
just says receive. it doesn't
right,
say about
so I think the
voting on
first one, I don't have the agenda, it says receive. The next one is the,
Action,
action to accept the report, or it's,
we can do that.
so,
Alright, so we'll say we're finished with the receive the superintendent's annual report. Going to the next item, which says discuss and consider approval of the chairman's signature on financial reports.
okay, so the financial reports would be just the one you held up, the 1F. And then the other report would look like, there's actually one that's optional, that local sales tax one. And why they don't combine those, I don't know. I probably could have left them, that is the one that we need approved right there, the 1F. Looks for that one, and then the local sales tax one, which is this one right there.
And those are stapled together in our packet here,
Yes.
I believe.
I split them out, I guess, or put them in there. I mean, I would think if you approve the whole report, those would be approved with it, but I kind of put them separate, I guess, to make sure there's no questions.
Well,
So-
the report is all of this put
Yes,
together, and
right,
that's the report.
right. So,
Yeah, I would move for approval of the, financial report as
I'll
presented.
second that.
All right. We'll have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and vote.
You have 4 yeses.
Motion's carried. So the next item is discuss the annual certification of program compliance.
Is that the sales tax
so
one?
this is the form right there that has the 8, 9 points on it, that, all the, stipulations we had to meet for this program compliance. Like the first one's pretty much covers your 1 and 6 and the accounting part that I just all went through of how we're keeping track with that. So,
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the certification program compliance.
I'll second that.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and vote.
You have 4 yeses.
Motion's carried. And then the last item is discuss and consider signing resolution with Nebraska Board of Public Roads Classifications and Standards.
this is the resolution just approving the chairman's signature on the, what you just approved for the
what we did
classification. So, yeah. So,
I move for approval.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Go ahead and vote.
It's not quite ready yet, I don't, there on that one.
Ken?
Yours in, Joe.
I don't have it up here, so I don't know. That
You have
means
4
I have to
yeses?
turn around.
Yeah,
You have 4 yeses.
motion's
Will
carried.
you make sure they sign the right pages for me?
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks for your
Hey.
work on that, Steve, appreciate it.
A lot of work.
I
on
know
that.
it isn't on the agenda, but
Lot of
I'll mention one thing. So I was coming back from Cheyenne on the Stiegel Road, and where the county line is there any reason why we couldn't or shouldn't put a sign there that says entering Scotts Bluff County or something like that?
no, we could, yeah.
Okay.
Be kinda nice, actually.
Yeah. Now that the road's fixed. We didn't want them to know earlier, but now,
Prior
it's
to that,
okay.
that was all banner conditions.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's just gonna help me make sure you guys sign.
How was the road coming up
Okay.
to there, Mark?
Nice.
Was it good?
Everything was good.
Good.
Oh, I didn't sign it yet.
You have 2 there,
Okay.
and I need to sign
I'll let you date them.
what you have. Do you wanna sign it?
This is all of us here. We'll send it that way. President doesn't need it.
Certainly. That's just what he had there.
Here's one more for you.
Getting tired.
I bet.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Okay, thanks, guys. Thank you, Steve.
Okay, I believe that takes care of everything under road and bridge. We'll go to the next item, which is discuss and consider tourism board vacancy replacement. Mr. Heeman, come on up. We have Lana Hubbard on our list.
I
but
wish I were Lana Hubbard.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
You're
my
gonna,
life is not that good. I'm Chuck Heeman. I am on the tourism board, and we're here to present, excuse me, Jessica Lesher-Wasson to join our board. We've had an open spot in our attractions portion of the board, and Jessica stepped up and applied. We spoke to her at our meeting on October 8th. I believe Commissioner Meyer was there as well. Her and her family operate Sandy Acres Farm, which truthfully I didn't know existed until she came and talked to us, but it's a really cool thing that they do. So we would like to present her as our nominee to fill that open spot, and as far as her reasons for doing that and what she hopes to accomplish, obviously I would let her speak for herself.
All right, thank you. Go ahead.
Hello, I'm Jess. So I have Sandy Acres Farm, which is a flower and lavender farm. So I have people come out and you pick flowers and visit. And I host like little events like birthday parties. I've had a bridal shower out there. And my background is in hospitality and marketing. So I really felt like that fit pretty well with the tourism committee. I could bring both marketing, hospitality, and then owning an attraction in Scotts Bluff County to the table when we discuss how we bring more people to Scotts Bluff County. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Well, just on her behalf, I was at the meeting, I listened to her presentation. She's very excited about doing this, very excited. She really wants to get involved. She's kind of out in the country. She wants to do a few more things in town and see what's going on. And I think she's very aggressive in what she does, and I think she's gonna be a good member.
Where's your farm located?
We are on North Highland Road.
North
So, yeah, right up there. As far as you can get, almost to Schiff's place up there.
Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Just past the
I was gonna say,
turnoff.
I get around pretty good. I haven't seen a lavender farm yet.
Yeah, you'll
gotta
have
go a
to
little
just
further.
keep on driving.
Just gotta go.
It'd be in that same area where you turned off to go to the Cattleman's Ball.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
right up in that
Yeah.
area.
Yep.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. The, this fills all of our positions on the
That's
board.
correct.
Right,
This takes the spot where Sherry Beatty was before she stepped down.
Right.
So that gives us a full board.
right. And that's good. We had been two short, now we're one short, and this would fill that. That's right.
I would move for approval of the vacancy replacement.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote.
No, you won't. I'm not ready.
Oh,
Now, no. I
Now
wasn't
you're ready?
I just flat out wasn't ready.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
she was listening. Are you ready now?
Yep.
We're waiting on you.
Oh. It's not up over there, so I have to.
Oh,
Check
I'll
it
fix
out.
that for you.
Yeah, if you put it up there, it works good.
Steve, did he leave? You have 4 yeses.
Motion's carried. Congratulations, and
Thank
we'll look
you.
forward to working with you.
Lisa?
Yeah. I know, it's pretty wordy.
That seems to be working, Chuck.
We did get that for you.
Yeah, how did you pronounce that last name?
Swallowed her.
How do we pronounce her last
Yeah.
name?
Letcher, L-E-C-H-E-R is my Shadron.
Yeah.
Maiden name, Wasson's my husband from Colorado's last name.
Fletcher Watson. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, next item on the agenda is to discuss and consider county cash reserves and debt payment contingency planning in the event a federal government shutdown impacts federal payments to Scotts Bluff County. Lisa?
Just like it says, we have a couple of departments that depend on federal money to support them. Detention center depends on a lot of federal money, and they're shut down right now. They are not gonna receive payments until the federal government picks back up. Our cash reserve is this big. That's all we have to start paying bills. We just need to have a plan. If it's not gonna open in the next 2 weeks, what steps would you recommend we start taking around here? I mean, obviously, cut back spending. I don't know what else we can do, but I mean, it could be serious if it doesn't open up. And we still have to pay salaries.
So one of the things that we talked about, or at least you and I visited about, Lisa, was a temporary freeze on hiring until we can get things in the biggest thing is the detention center out here. We've got
What about doing the same thing with overtime, bring in people so that we don't have the overtime?
whatever steps
We need
have to be
cut
taken right now.
expenses, and overtime's gonna be
Yeah.
good.
Because we don't wanna stop taking those federal prisoners. If we do that, we're in trouble, but it still costs us $100 a day to keep them, so.
Well, and we did get a letter from the Federal
Yeah,
Marshal's Service asking us to keep doing it, even
Yeah.
though we're not getting paid. They asked us to, if we would try and keep taking their prisoners, and my understanding is we're at a fairly high population right now,
We are.
That's
and,
good. That's good on one hand and bad
yeah,
on the
bad
other.
on the other.
If we were getting paid
But
for
you
it,
know
it'd be
what,
great.
even at that though, we aren't hiring any extra help to do this, so I mean, our expenses haven't gone up, our income has, we're just not collecting.
Yeah, it
I
might,
have a question for Jason, do we have the right to borrow money in a situation like this through a time or something? If we need to borrow at the bank? Or can you borrow from any other funds? Do you have some funds that are set in good shape?
Well, some, yeah,
Okay,
we do, we do.
Okay.
We can borrow
So,
from our, we have inheritance, we haven't moved the money.
Okay.
We haven't moved the stuff, we have capital sitting there.
okay.
But how long's that gonna,
Well,
I mean,
you know, well-
it's gonna get you through the year, and
It
I
isn't
think
gonna
March
go
is
forever.
April, I've said this before, I think cash is problematic this year. We've raised our budget, and we have very little, I mean, he just said it, 40%. It's wonderful we're meeting the highway allocation, but yet what have we done to do that? Taking money out of capital reserves. You know, taking money out of Keno reserves to do it.
all
It's
gonna come
great we're
right back.
getting it done, but we don't have a lot of excess. So,
Okay,
anyway.
but that's my question, do we have, the ability to borrow?
I'd say, I thought that was kind of a Heather question, isn't it?
Well, I don't know, I think, that's a statute, I think is what that is, isn't it? I think there's a statute, whether we can or can't borrow from a bank. I know schools, there was a pretty tight statute on schools, you know, when I was in school.
And
In
I will
fact,
mention, Heather's back there if she needs to
Heather?
address it, but,
Is she or is she
I don't know.
I'm here, but I don't, you know, we've never been in that.
She needs to come up front.
Right,
So, does it need some research then?
Let
to
her
find
come
out
up
what
here.
our statutes are?
let her come up.
We've never been in that situation, but I can tell you that claims need to slow down big time.
Pardon?
Claims need to slow down big time. We have over $800,000 in claims to pay out tomorrow. We don't start collecting the next round of taxes until December. You know, and in December we do collect some money, but it's kind of all dependent on how much people's income is in December as to whether or not they pay taxes when they get their tax bill or not.
I think some of the state information, and some that just came out even today would indicate that, again, the farming community is not doing as well as what it did 2 and 3 years ago. And the overall, receipts for the state is down. And I think,
Sales tax receipts, yeah.
Mhm. And so, all of that ultimately reflects on some of the things, some of the money spent, which includes for vehicles and other things,
And I would
where we get
recommend
some
that
money.
even if you have it budgeted as far as having big projects, you know, they all need to stop and slow down because payroll needs to be the
And-
big thing right now.
and that's basically what I was saying as far as a hiring freeze. It's not saying forever, it's just saying right now,
For right now.
for right now,
I mean,
until
we're
we
budgeted
get
to
some
get
funds
the
back.
money in, and I don't know how long they're projecting that the federal government's shut down. But as far as buying things right now and paying for things that you don't need to pay for, we really need to slow down.
Right.
We do have some money in cash reserves, but, you know, we pay out, the majority of what we pay out, or what we collect gets paid back out. You know, cause we're basically a pass-through for the schools and for local entities. You know, but road projects, big projects, things like that even are budgeted need to probably stop at the moment.
Just put everything on hold.
Well, any of the
Yeah.
outgo, if there's any money enough, unless it's emergency, then we can
Unless it's an
defer the
emergency, I
payment.
mean, there are things that, you know, obviously, you know, we don't
Yeah.
think that this'll go forever, and usually it takes us about 2 months to recover after a federal shutdown. That's about what it was the last time. But we have several departments besides the detention center that are almost entirely grant funded by the federal government, including emergency management,
How about transit?
Transit,
quite a
How
bit
much
of
of
transit.
transit's federal?
80%?
I was thinking 80. What, how much?
I did
Right.
ask Kurt to check that, cause he thought some of the money was sitting at the state level, so it's already here to be paying out for several months, but I guess we need to also stress,
He's
this
coming.
isn't just a detention center problem and a
No.
bus problem, this is every department, it's gonna affect you.
I think
Cause
that,
if we'd have a shutdown to December, furloughs are coming in mind, I mean, there's problems.
there's, so, yeah, we use the term emergency, and I'm calling essential. Non-essential and non-emergency type expenditures should be, limited. And, so, the only way I know to communicate that, Lisa, are you able to, even as early as tomorrow morning, I mean, we can take some kind of action here even this evening.
Yeah, we need to do that.
To put,
Well,
the
and
teeth
it's,
behind it
it's
here.
not that we don't need to pay our bills.
right,
I mean, cause we need to pay our bills,
do.
we need to pay our salaries, but as far as your big expenditures, I mean, those things need to wait until,
Vehicle purchases.
yeah,
Right.
vehicle purchases, all those things, you know, large repairs, if they can be held
I
off
don't
of.
think we budgeted many vehicles this year, did we? No, I don't
well, not
remember.
very many, but
Not very many.
there's some.
But still.
But I think the bottom line, Russ, is that it may not be just vehicles, but like Heather said, and I think that's a good point, that if the budget is made up of things that we're going to buy over the year, obviously there's some of those, we have to have fuel. You have to, you know,
Yeah.
those essential
There's-
items that need to
There's
happen.
gonna be, I mean,
Right.
every department's going to have expenses that they
Right.
need to pay for, but, you know, our claims amount this fiscal year already have been really high. I don't know what's in there for tonight, but, you know, our payroll before you guys did the last cost of living increase was over 1.2 million every single month. So, and you add 2.5% to most of it, and that increases payroll. So, and that needs to be what people, that needs to be the forefront of departments, is paying our people.
Right now, I think it's probably a 2 or 3 tier thing that we're looking at. Right now, slow down. Secondly, if we don't see some relief here pretty quick, and everybody keeps digging their heels in, and we're not gonna come, then we need to take either more drastic things, and you have to look at it like you would your own personal account in your home.
Well, this
If
is
you're
the
out of a
time
job,
the-
you're not
But this is the time of the year where we're not doing high collections
Right.
anyways. So, you know, that always should be at the back of your mind in kind of October, November. I mean, tax collection really slows down because we're coming to the end of the 2024 tax collection, you know, before we roll into the 2025 tax collection in December. But even still, you know, they have all of next year for the most part to pay that. So we just need to kind of slow down and make sure that we're not spending anything big. And
Maybe we should
And I
define
think the main
big.
thing is to stop the
Well,
hiring for now. Just
I have a
freeze the hiring.
question. I mean, even though I don't make that big a difference in the overall budget, and I know that I'm going to need paper for the upcoming elections, I don't need to stock up on paper right now. Just simple things we can all do.
absolutely,
Yeah.
you know, I think every department head needs to simplify their expenses and look at their claims. I mean, if you get a phone bill, you're obviously gonna pay your phone bill, but as far as ordering things that you don't need tomorrow, wait.
Yeah.
This could all in the next couple, 3 weeks.
Absolutely.
You don't know. Or
But
it
it's
could
still,
go on for 2 or 3 months
it still
too.
takes a while
Yeah.
to
recover.
catch back up
Yeah.
and to recover from it. I mean, was it 2, 3 months the last time?
Sounds right. How much? 36 days. 36 days, okay.
Yeah.
Which is why
Yeah.
One month.
There's some of us that really like to have that reserve bigger than what it is for something right here is a
Yeah.
classic example.
Right.
Yeah,
That if we had the kind of reserves like we used to have,
yeah,
before everything got so tight, we could dip into
You
that
got-
and get it out.
You're just taxing to build a bank account. We
Yeah.
can borrow a bank account. We don't need to build
Well,
one. We can borrow.
there-
one.
I don't know that we
I
can,
don't care.
Russ.
I don't
Our-
think we need to build a bank account with taxpayer funds. I'm against it.
but we can't borrow like normal people can, and we can't borrow like normal businesses can. Our process is a lot different because our process is dictated by state statute.
That's what I said. That's what we asked you.
Basically, we should have enough in cash reserves to operate for 3 months, and we could probably operate for less than one, so.
That's
But we're
and it-
taxing.
what's that?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, the cash reserves is just what Heather said, is that you need to have, you should have that. Our own auditor said at least 3 months and possibly up to 6.
That's county business in heaven, but right now where we're at, we kinda need to keep those taxes down so these people can live. We just
Right.
talk about the farm community. Those people don't have the extra money
Well,
to put out
that's,
here.
but
That's
that's
true.
not the point right now.
It is a point.
Well, but
It's a big
the
point.
point is, right now, is what the county's facing right now, not
We-
forecasting for the next 5
we-
years. You've already cut cash reserves, they're as low as they can go.
We increased them this year.
Because
We've
we-
increased them
No,
this year.
we cut out,
cut 'em.
road projects took us down $1 million bucks.
I mean, we don't have it. So if we're gonna be closed for another, if the federal government's gonna be closed for another 4 months, we're in
Well,
big trouble.
I doubt
it's-
that
and
that's
it's
gonna
not just
happen. I
us.
don't think
And
the whole
it's not-
country can run on that, so.
It's not,
Really true.
some of the meetings I attended last week are in the same boat.
Oh, yeah.
The aging office can't get paid. They've got claims out there that they're, 30 days behind on. They can't get their money. And
Kaplan-
they may not get it until the government opens up again.
Yeah.
Kaplan has a lot of grants sitting
And
there.
I'm
They
sure
can-
Kaplan does too.
Same thing, when I was
Yeah.
at that meeting, it's the same thing.
So
It's
it's
everywhere.
It's
It's
affecting
We're
everywhere.
gonna,
I
we're
mean,
gonna have to tighten our
it's gonna-
belts, we're gonna get through it.
Yeah.
We're
We
gonna
will.
figure it out.
It's a
That's
big
why-
deal.
That's
But
why we have
we-
good people here to figure this out.
And we will, but we can't borrow like normal businesses, so.
Well, we're gonna find out what we can borrow and what we can't. We're sitting here saying.
I
we
think when
can't.
that question came up the last time, that's when we bonded stuff. Things that needed to happen, we didn't have the money to do it, so we bonded it rather than borrow the money, cause I think we were told at that time that we couldn't. I may be wrong.
You're probably right. I think
I-
you're right. I'm pretty sure that.
I don't think that we could borrow, which is why we bonded a couple of big ones.
We might have to bond our jail so we can pay the bills.
Mitch has got his hand up back here.
I don't wanna take away from the two already there, so.
Oh, be my guest.
Kurt's next, and
I spoke with Russ earlier, have all-day meetings and trainings tomorrow with NDOT. I believe right now, I'm waiting on payment for August. I can't even submit September yet because of the documentation required I don't have yet. I'll verify, but right now, they have all their appropriated money in the state coffers, so we should be good for reimbursement for now. I don't know if the feds dump the whole year in or they do a quarterly release to them. I'll try and find that out tomorrow, but we're about as current as we can be, and, other than maintenance and fuel costs, obviously payroll, we're bare bonesing it right now.
Can we cut some hours on your people and not run a full bore on that? Can we
I
cut that
have
back?
to do
Can
it,
we
if I'm
cut that
cutting,
back 30%?
that's where I'm getting at come April, if I don't get some of my money back.
How about right
In
now?
order to do that, I have to have a public hearing if I'm reducing services. I'll have to initiate an entire public hearing, and, I can start that process. But right now, we're, with our new software, we're able to batch ahead of time, and it basically tells us you can get by with 5 drivers versus 6 on
Well-
your demand response.
I'm not asking you to cut any drivers, I'm asking you to just cut their hours.
Yep.
Till we get through this a little bit.
the only issue that I see there is, again, isn't even in those salaries, our portions
Very little.
10%.
Mine's,
So it doesn't.
administrative staff
His
is
doesn't help us
10%.
that
Well,
much.
we still gotta pay them the other 80 though, we're still writing the checks, we gotta pay the whole 100% on the wages.
Yeah, that's true.
For
We gotta pay the
reimbursement.
whole
So
thing,
it's-
so
it's
if we can cut them
75
30% would help us right now.
it's 50% of drivers and my 2 dispatchers, and 80% is reimbursed of all
That's right.
administrative staff.
But it's
So
reimbursed, but in the meantime, we gotta pay for it until it's reimbursed. And
Yes.
so if we can cut you 30%, that'll help us on
I-
this front end. I mean, if you could just cut,
30's a stretch without cutting our hours, but
I'm
in
gonna
order
let
to
you
do
pick
that.
a number. That was the number I picked. Now you pick a number.
Well, and I would say
10.
that the big push needs to be, we need to cut back our expenditures that are not payroll.
So,
Okay.
We'll
Our
streamline it.
claims this time of year should not be $800,000. It needs to be less, and I don't know if there's any
And what
transfers.
There might
Claims are
have been
referring to
transfers last.
But, you know, most generally this time of year, claims are less than $400,000. $800,000 is a lot of money right now.
Yeah, and that might have been a chunk of transfers.
I don't know that there's
So-
a lot of claims. I don't know that we've done a.
Well, we have the list. We get the list in our packet every single
Yeah.
You have the
2
list,
weeks.
and
Oh,
you
I
have the
remember.
dollar amount.
So, but I do know that there's, some of those are, as Lisa said, some of those are transfers, I
agree.
believe. And, but we'll go from there. Mitch, go ahead.
Thanks, Heather. Mitch Wagers, MITCHWAGERS. I don't envy the position here. This is tough, especially sitting over here with my wife in her own situation with the federal government. So it's a tough thing. So I do want to say that this may not be the popular thing to say. I am one opposed to borrowing money that has not worked for any of government agencies for the last 113 years, 112 years. Even before that it didn't work. It certainly didn't work after 1913. So I am opposed to borrowing money, especially for something that you don't have. You can't count on it coming in later on. It just doesn't always work that way. The second thing is, many of us in the public have stood up here and called for things to not be passed. And that is, I think, the money that has been mentioned, that it is not payroll and it doesn't need to be coming out. And here we are. That's a tough situation. I'm not blaming anybody, except I'm blaming the whole commissioner board because they voted to pass those things. That's where I sit
No,
with that.
that's not right.
No, it's not.
Say what?
We didn't all vote to pass all that. I voted no on the budget.
I could pick out
Remember?
I could pick out two things that have
Well,
nothing to
you
do
probably
with
can
payroll.
too, but you can't on the other 10.
It's not an
All right,
argument,
so-
Mark. It's not against you personally.
Yeah, I
So-
know, but you're including the whole group, and that's not true. It's just not true.
Okay, well, we can go back through the meetings and
Yeah, go get them
and look at those votes.
bring
But
'em to
again,
me
it's
tomorrow.
not personal.
Bring
I
'em
don't
to
mean
me
any
tomorrow.
disrespect.
I know you say
I'm
it
just
isn't,
up
but
here-
it always is somewhat personal. Okay?
I-
You're blaming all, and it's not all. That's all I would say. That's what you said.
The other part of the story is you're talking about borrowing, approved funds and non-approved funds. We've already approved the funds. If we borrow against those, the government's holding up. That money's coming in. It isn't like we're borrowing against something that isn't out there. That money's coming in.
Okay, so if I was in the same situation and I told you that, and I owed the county money, would you just say, "Oh, don't worry about it right now"?
I don't think you're on the right table, right line. You're not even making sense.
That's what you just said. It's
No, I
coming
don't.
in. If I told you, I know I owe the county money, but just give me a couple more months. I'll be there. I don't think the county would take that on me.
We have the money budgeted. We know the money's coming in from the feds. It's all been approved. That's the money we're working off of.
But it's not
We're only
here.
gonna borrow against what is gonna be paid.
But it's not here.
It's going to
Appreciate
come.
your time.
And I will say that I agree with you that I don't wanna borrow money.
I don't either, but where we
I
at?
don't wanna.
Where we
right.
at?
Well,
We gotta pay the bills.
So,
And we've
what-
got, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So what I'm getting ready to offer a motion that says, that the motion will be to, from the commissioners, to highly encourage all staff led by department heads and elected officials to limit spending in light of the federal, government shutdown and lower local tax receipts. Only essential and emergency type expenditures should be considered for immediate purchase. We want this to happen on a voluntary basis. If it doesn't, we will need to take further action, such as hiring freezes, spending limitations, and possible furloughs.
Let's do the hiring freeze right now as well. Unless approved, and make it unless approved.
And I
by the
can
board.
say that.
Yeah,
I
let's
mean, I
include
think we
that
can,
right now.
we can, be mentioning that even now, but anyway, that's what I'm going to propose here in just a minute, if that's,
Sounds good.
unless someone has
I've got
a,
another question. Steve, you're still here. Steve, are there any road projects out there that we could hold up on for a while? The high, you know, why
You
you see what
knew
I'm
this
saying,
was
the high dollar ones? Not that we don't want you,
Pushed
Not-
them all the way back.
not that
So-
we don't want you to do them. We're just
Right.
saying, is there anything that could be held up for a while?
So, we just did the 42nd Street, so that claim just come in, so that's not on this one, it'll be on the next one, and you know, that's 280,000. But as far as after that, we don't have anything in that
Nothing big coming
range
up right
for-
now.
For a while, it'll
Okay.
be, you know, we did have a couple vehicles, but it'll be like spring for they get here anyway, and, we have the other bridge we need to do and some culverts, but it'll probably be more towards spring for any huge road projects, I would call them, so.
Yeah, and like I
We
say,
have
we're
some
not,
littler ones, $20,000 culvert here and there maybe, but,
They're budgeted items and things, and if all this
They're all
money
budgeted
comes
fi-
in
they're
within
all
a
budgeted
Budget doesn't
items.
matter.
When the money comes
Budget
in-
doesn't matter right now when you're in a
Yeah,
crisis.
he's talking spring, Lisa.
so. But after we pay the Simons for the 42nd Street here, then, which will be on the next claim, it wasn't in this one, I don't believe. That will hopefully be our last
Tell
big
them
one.
hold up on billing us. They're doing fine.
They're always pretty quick about that.
They're doing
well,
fine.
and the bottom line, it may be budgeted, but that doesn't mean we have to actually do it. It
That's
may have
true.
to be moved over to the
That's right.
next year.
Could be
Right.
moved ahead.
Exactly.
It could be moved to
If
the
we
next
have to,
year
we
until
can-
we're out of this. And that's the reason for my question. Is there any larger projects that are out there that we could put on hold, at least for right now, until
I don't
things
have any
open up?
larger projects until it would be spring before we did them. So maybe by then we would know better what.
Hopefully we're done with it by then.
Right.
We'll meet again.
all of those things are will be part of this motion.
Right.
When we
So-
talk about essential and or emergency. And if they're not, then you gotta reconsider them, whether it's your department or anybody else's.
Agree with
So
that.
that's what we're talking about.
That was-
But yours are the big ones many times, and so
But
you
if
knew
it's-
this was gonna get pointed at you.
If this thing ends next week and things start rolling again by
Right.
spring,
Might
it'll be
be
a
a
different.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm not picking on you. I'm just saying that when we start looking at our larger budgets, like the
I hope it
detention
is.
center, like the roads department,
Right.
if there's anything really big, even though we budgeted, everybody said, yeah, it's a good idea, put it in your budget, is to put it on hold for right now until we get, until we know that we're gonna get the money to actually do it.
Right.
Okay, appreciate
Okay,
it.
yep.
So-
Thank you.
So my motion is going to be, I'll move, to highly encourage all staff led by department heads and elected officials to limit spending in light of the federal shutdown and lower local tax receipts. Only essential and emergency expenditures, including, possibly no hiring, should be considered. We ask that you do this voluntarily, or we will be forced to take further action such as hiring freezes, spending limitations, and possible furloughs. That's my motion.
Can
I'll
we
I'll
include,
second it.
can we include the hiring freeze?
We did.
For sure?
We did.
It's in there.
Well, you put a possible hiring freeze.
Well, I put possible below and up above, I said emergency expenditures, including the, no hiring. I put possibly no hiring.
Possibly no hiring.
Right. And we can change that to possibly no hiring.
And we're
Hire to
doing the
no
same thing we
hiring.
did at budget time. Same
Right.
thing, went back to the departments and said, this is how much we have, give us a number that we can work with, so the same thing is happening right now. If you don't need it, don't buy it,
Right.
basically.
Did you just second that?
I
Jim?
seconded,
Oh,
yes.
I was wondering if you didn't.
I hope in 2 weeks that when we're here, that it's a non-issue at the
And we can
federal level.
retract that at some point, or do you wanna just leave it in effect for a while?
Well,
Yeah,
It isn't hurting anything.
we can leave it for now.
Okay.
we'll rediscuss
So-
in 2 weeks.
All right, so that's the motion. Any other thoughts or questions?
I think that covers everything pretty well at this point.
I want, yeah,
Until
fairly
something else
broad.
comes up.
Can I
We don't have a
copy
choice.
of that?
No, we don't. have-
Yeah,
really
I'm
don't.
assuming
It
she
was,
had.
it was a fairly beautifully written
Oh, yes.
motion, by the way.
Very
I
nice.
did, I did just put that
Were
together.
you were impressed with it, Kelly?
All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote.
You have 4 yeses.
Motion's carried. All right, so,
Could I get a copy of that motion from you two
You
later?
can't, you can't remember what it is?
It's on the recorder too.
Kelly?
yeah, you can have this sheet.
Oh, it is just handwritten, huh?
Yeah,
You
handwritten.
just wrote it up.
I just wrote it. Okay, you know what? We're gonna take an 8-minute break.
Thank you so much. I was gonna go anyway.
Yeah, 5:46 is the time.
I was gonna go.
Yeah, see, I think
Russ,
there's something wrong in my heart.
If you are the person, you better show up. I went down and meeting, Art was the chairman, and it was one of the business meetings, and he opted not to go to it. And I've never seen Vera so upset in her life.
Mark
She didn't
Master.
show up.
Well, you don't get a vote.
Yeah, we
Your
said-
county doesn't get a vote if
Yeah.
the person you
Oh,
select
she was
doesn't
upset
go.
with me.
Well, they need the votes, don't they? That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back, whenever you're ready.
Please call me. I don't know what
Okay. Meeting will come back to order. Time's 5:54, exactly 8 minutes. Appreciate that. All right, the next item is discuss and consider appointment on voter confirmation registration for NACO December 2025 election of officers. So, Kelly, do you wanna just explain what we need to do and why? I mean, obviously, I think one of the points is
If you're
normally the
not-
chairman would be the voting person, but I don't intend to go.
Right.
And so we need to elect a person to, be able to cast the vote, the official vote for Scotts Bluff County.
Are there any other commissioners gonna go to it? 'Cause
Russ, you're going?
I
Right.
don't know.
Oh, I thought
I
someone
went
said
to
you were.
any, it doesn't necessarily have to be the chairman, it could be any board member,
Right.
or whoever we decide, Kelly or another elected
Right.
official.
I know
Kelly's already-
Kelly's done it before.
Yeah.
But if a commissioner's going, I think we ought, my thought process is we ought to appoint a commissioner. But if we're not, then we've done Kelly before. And you're going, aren't you, Kelly?
I fully intend on it.
Kelly, do we have to
Not for sure.
advise them who the representative is?
I'm not
Yes,
going.
I have to send this back to
That has to
NACO.
be one, okay.
Hang on.
I can't go. Yeah, I know, I can't go. You wanna,
Put me down as number 1 and him number 2 then. Or Ken, are you gonna go down?
No. I won't
Okay,
be.
put down Mike number 2 then alternate.
can we do that?
Ain't that what it's
He'd be
about
the
for an
alternate? Alright.
County board chair or person casting the ballot. Who
And
will
then-
that be?
And then it says designated in event.
Hang on, who is that line?
We're suggesting Russ be the
Okay?
first.
Designee in the event the above is unavailable to cast ballot.
Mr. Blue, he's saying that he's high
Okay,
probability.
I would move that we would appoint Russ Reisig as the, individual representing Scotts Bluff County.
Okay?
In his absence, Mike Blue would be that representative.
And that's a motion?
That's my motion.
Isn't that not essential travel? I mean, is there a Zoom, way to zoom in? I'm
No.
being sincere.
Wow.
No, they
You
don't.
can't talk from back there, but you can talk
You
from
know,
up here.
it doesn't matter. I don't charge the county. I go down on my own dime. I don't use their money.
Okay, so I'm just asking the question, is that an essential trip that is necessary for an expense of travel? It's a legitimate question. I know nobody wants to sit home, but it's a legitimate question.
I went last year and I never asked for any reimbursement. I paid my
Okay,
own way.
great, Russ, we'll hold you to it. How about the
That's
rest?
fine.
I'm not
I'm
going.
going again.
Who else
I
is
go
going?
sometimes if I have time, and when I do go, it is an essential trip, but I don't always charge all my expenses.
Okay, but if it's not, how is it essential is my question, I guess.
Mainly it's education and keeping up with the state statutes, new laws that affects county and affects taxpayers.
Okay,
We learn about those at those meetings.
okay.
And you cover everything from law enforcement to emergency management to road and bridge,
And
to
then-
treasurers, everybody. You learn, you have opportunity to get trained in a
It's
lot of
like
areas.
county school is where you're going.
Well, I think that's a really essential thing then. Let's everybody go.
I appreciate your
Okay,
comment. We'll consider what you're saying. And I suspect you're saying that not only for commissioners, but for everybody.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
I would just ask that whoever is there, is the vote taken on Friday morning, Kelly?
I
Still?
haven't looked at the agenda recently.
So we have had a situation in the past, not necessarily with this board, where a commissioner was appointed and they didn't appoint the clerk to do it, and then the commissioner didn't show up to the meeting on that morning. It was on Friday morning and the commissioner didn't show up, so Scotts Bluff County didn't get to vote. So whoever, they need to make sure they're at the meeting.
I think that's what Mr. Meyer was describing
Yeah.
to us, that
Could've
we've
been
had
the same
that happen.
story.
And, but, yeah, we have two different people, and I think that's important. If, so, that'll be the plan, and we can certainly, take into consideration the idea as to whether it's, essential, travel that's been suggested. And, I know some people have commitments on the NACO board, and, I'm pretty sure that there is no proxy voting. And, so there's some things, I guess, that need to be considered that way.
The only thing I could amend my motion also, that if, Russ, if you're sure you're going to go, Mike, you're not sure that you're going to go, if something that you couldn't be there, we wouldn't have a vote. I would amend my motion to say, that Russ Reisig would be the individual with Kelly as the alternate, cause we know that she's going to be there. We're
Well,
not 100% sure Mike is gonna be there, or,
That's
We aren't,
probably,
we aren't
and if-
or you
anymore.
could put her in as the main one.
and we've done that. Vera Delaney used to be our representative normally all the time.
Sure.
Cause nobody really knew what
And
the,
that's probably an excellent idea.
it's a terrible time of the year to go, for
It
one
is,
thing.
that's tough to get out of here.
Yeah.
And then the weather and all.
Yeah. I'm going to amend my motion.
I'm fine with that.
I didn't follow
fine
what it
with
was though,
Okay, well, my motion was for Russ and Mike.
right?
Russ,
That's where,
is it?
that's where I
Okay.
left off.
I'm gonna amend my motion that our representative would be Kelly Sides, and then if Kelly can't make it for whatever reason, it'd be, Russ Reisig.
Could we just put Kelly below Mike and would have 3 chances?
I don't know what I don't know what it
I don't think
allows.
so.
Oh,
No.
come on.
Okay,
Didn't say that.
You can call Candace tomorrow.
okay, that's my amended motion.
I think that's fine.
Who's second, did anybody second
I'll
it?
second that.
Okay,
All right.
and that way, for sure, we have somebody there that's going to vote for it.
Okay.
All right. So. Yeah, I don't know that that's the official way to do it, but we know what the, motion then, the new motion would be for Kelly to be the designated person and Russ to be the alternate.
That would be
That's what I
fine too.
understood.
No,
That's
yes.
what I understood
So
you to
you,
say.
she's the primary and then I'll be the alternate.
That's
Right.
what he
Okay,
said.
that's just fine.
Right.
That's just
All
fine.
right, so, and we have a second to that. Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote.
You have 4 yeses.
All right, motion's carried. So you'll take care of that and get it to NACO, right, Kelly?
Yes.
All right. Okay. The next item is discuss and consider commissioner appointments to various boards and committees until commissioner vacancy has been filled.
I added it just so that we knew that we need to talk about it.
Okay?
Well, I think that position's gonna be filled by the first, right?
Well, what if in the next 11 days somebody calls? Is,
Well, then can
From-
we just have somebody come in and we can step in as a commissioner and fill those holes? If
Yeah.
somebody will let us know, as long as we know, we
Any
gotta
of
be
us
there.
can really,
I just
Right.
wanted it a discussion point.
That's a good idea.
well, yeah, and what my thought process was that I didn't want us to go through the entire process
I agree. I didn't want
of-
us to do that either.
until we knew
'cause
who the new person was and whether or not there's any conflicts with anybody on any particular boards.
I agree with that.
Otherwise, in my opinion, they could virtually fill the positions that Charlie had. We're really only talking until January, and then they'll be reassessed
Reassigned.
again anyway. But every once in a while, we have a conflict, and so in my personal opinion was to wait until, the new person is seated, and then have it basically immediately at that meeting or the next meeting, that we can discuss those positions.
I think I'm just gonna add it to the list of things to talk to the applicants about on the 28th also.
Okay,
For them to review it from the website. We've
Okay.
got all of your appointments.
on the,
Charlie's positions, there were only 5 committees that he was on. Tourism meets on a monthly basis. Sarah meets quarterly. Twin City Development is ex officio. It doesn't have, there's no vote
No
there
vote.
anyway.
Okay.
Information Systems. And then PAD is the other one that meets on a monthly basis.
but in my opinion, we're less than a month away now, and,
Yeah.
I think we can, in my opinion, we can wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, or I'll say call Mark Harris and
Right.
he'll put you in
I'll-
touch with who
I'll
might be
either
able to.
go or get one of these guys to help out.
Yeah, I'll
Well,
be
we've
glad to
got-
help out if you're short, if I
Okay.
can go. I'm sure Mike will too, everybody. We'll fill in whatever you need.
We've got alternates, I
On
think
all of those
all of them.
spots?
What's that?
On all of those
No,
spots?
I was just looking here, Twin City Development and the Information System, there's no alternate.
Is that something
I'm-
to talk about too on reorganization? Do we always need an alternate then? I mean, should we think that far ahead?
Well,
Shouldn't
when
we?
we
Possibly?
reorganize, we should probably talk about it.
maybe
Well,
I'll just add
okay,
it.
excuse me, I'll take that back. Twin City Development, I'm the alternate on that one for TCD. Information System, I'm the alternate on that one. Tourism, I'm the alternate. I've been attending the meetings anyway for tourism. Mark and I both have been going to those.
Okay.
Mapping is, no, that's not one, okay. So there is 2 of them that have alternates that could go to
So they're
those.
pretty well covered. Those are the ones, regular meetings. Those
Yeah.
are probably the only ones that are gonna meet anyway.
Yeah, well, PAD, there's no alternate, yeah, you're the alternate on PAD.
Okay.
Russ.
When
so
does that meet? I don't know the date.
I don't have, it just says monthly, so I don't know,
Okay, I
I
don't-
can't tell you.
So,
I can't
whatever
tell.
meeting it is that the new person is seated, can we have that on the agenda as well? And we'll just confirm at that time that they can fill those positions, or we can reshuffle things a little bit
okay.
if we need to,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
Okay. The next one, discussion and consideration of the draft letter from the state auditor's office to Scotts Bluff County, including findings and recommendations. Consideration of any required follow-up actions or compliance measures. Who's going to start with this item?
You.
I can give a brief.
Did you script it?
He and I have talked things
Okay.
over. The discussion this evening is we wanted to make everyone aware that, a couple of months ago or so, we received a letter from the state auditor's office that someone had anonymously filed some concerns about some of our financial processes and procedures for Scotts Bluff County, and they would like for the state auditor to look into those. The state auditor sent us a letter, told us of this anonymous request, and that they intended to look into some areas that concerned, at that time, the concern was some credit card purchases and some personnel payments that were of concern, and I believe those were the primary ones. And they told us that they were going to be pursuing an investigation, and so they asked us to be cooperative in providing information to them. Lisa had told us that she intended to fully cooperate with them and to give them whatever information they ask for. And I'm from what I've heard from Lisa, and I've also personally talked to people at the state auditor's office, they have said that as far as they can tell, we have cooperated fully in giving them all information that they ask for. And so we have received a draft document from them that is reporting to us that there are some discrepancies as far as they're concerned, particularly in areas of credit card purchases and how credit cards are being used, I'll say. Also, there has been some information coming back from them concerning rebates, that if there's been rebates from vendors, of how those rebates are being used. And so some of those things are actually, the rebate thing was a new item that was discovered, wasn't actually in the first initial complaint, but it was something that was found when they were going through things. So they are trying to finish their investigation, and they have written us a draft letter of some or all of the things that we're expecting. At this point, I asked Lisa today to confirm, because I thought that they have found some things that they wish would have been handled differently, and but as we added up the dollar amounts, all of the transactions that they talked about added up to less than $1,000. Is that right, Lisa?
Yes.
So
Yes.
they're not extensive, but it's we take them seriously up here, and we want to be proactive in helping them through their investigation, and it has caused us to start some of our own investigations. With that, they have asked us to respond to their draft information, I believe, or give them a response somewhat as to some of our intentions. And so we've asked Jason and Lisa to help put together a letter of response to the state auditor's office. And so we have done that, and I think I need to read it here this evening. But I'll read the letter and then see if there's any other comments from the rest of us up here. So this letter, again, approved by Lisa and Jason, and says this. It says to Dennis Lee, the chairman, no.
No. I was like, no.
It's a good letter though.
Yeah,
Mark.
Do you have it?
It's
looks
a-
really good.
It's a great letter. It just didn't have anything to do with.
All right, this letter, dated October 20th today, 2025, to Craig Kubicek, CPA and CFE, Deputy Auditor, Auditor of Public Accounts, room 2303 at the State Capitol, Lincoln, Nebraska, 68509. Reference Scotts Bluff County, Nebraska. Response to draft letter from the Nebraska Auditor of Public Accounts. Dear Mr. Kubicek, Scotts Bluff County acknowledges receipt of your draft letter outlining concerns identified during the recent audit review. We appreciate your office's time and attention in bringing these matters to the county's attention. Please be advised that the county is currently conducting an internal review to investigate each of the concerns noted. In conjunction with this review, we have undertaken a comprehensive update of all our applicable policies and procedures referenced in your draft letter to ensure continued compliance and improved internal controls, including the following. First one is Scotts Bluff County will review and update our personnel policies 13,400 and 13,401, along with our purchase card acceptance agreement to address the concerns brought forward by the Auditor of Public Accounts. All purchase card users will be asked to review and sign the new card acceptance agreement. All authorized users have been asked to leave their cards at their county offices when not working. Number two, Scottsbluff County will implement a formal rebates, rewards, and incentives policy to address concerns brought forward by the Nebraska Auditor of Public Accounts. And number three, Scottsbluff County will consider, implement, or update current procedures to address the following: circumstances under which employees of the county can receive gifts purchased with public funds, including a price limit not to exceed $50. The public defender will incorporate a client clothing purchase policy noting circumstance and dollar limit. The updated purchase card policy will address the necessity of an itemized receipt to support all purchases and exclusion of Nebraska's sales tax on business purchases. The next one, all purchase card users will be required to sign the updated purchase card agreement form, and commissioners will approve adjustments to any requested spending limits. Also, the relevant policies, procedures are currently being set for consideration before the County Personnel Board, and therefore will come before
Thereafter.
thereafter will come before the Scottsbluff County Commissioners for final review and approval. We will provide additional information or documentation as needed upon completion of our internal review and policy and procedural updates. Thank you for your ongoing cooperation and oversight. Sincerely, Mark Harris, Scottsbluff County Board Chair. So, we are trying to answer their initial draft. Our understanding is when they receive this letter from us, they will move forward in drafting their final version. And once that final version is developed, that it will be released to the public and to all of us. We have seen the draft, is what I can tell you. And so anyway, that's where we're at this evening. Any discussion, commissioners, Russ, you have some?
I have a question on this $50. Is that $50 a month, week, or an hour?
Circumstance.
Per purchase. Huh?
That had to do with giving gift cards at the recognition dinner to 2 employees. That had to do with giving a gift card as a recognition. I mean, we had 2 door prizes,
Okay.
so we kept it as like a
But that's something that the
circumstance.
county's gonna give, it isn't a refund from these stores?
No, I mean, that's something that you'll still get to approve, but I mean, we set a
Okay.
value.
That value is just the maximum set forth in the state statute.
There was, part of this, and I think will end up being addressed. And, one of the questions was, there was some, flowers purchased, for a immediate family of a county employee that I think that had passed away. And some flowers were sent, and they questioned that purchase. There has been some food items purchased for volunteers of certain groups or committees. That was questioned, and at the very least, they're saying that there needs to be some specific written policies of quantity, and if that is an approved item from the county, and it needs to be included in the personnel procedures. And so those will be discussed as part of this. And it'll be discussed, our next personnel policy board meeting is on the 30th, right?
Oh, crap. Yeah. I'm sorry, I just thought of something, I've got a conflict. Yes, I do.
Okay, I believe, for right now, it's scheduled for the 30th.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And, so, some of this information will be dealt with at that personnel policy meeting. So, first of all, it was, when we first heard about it, it was concerning to us. But, in the, informal discussion, believe everybody was on the opinion, certainly, that we wanted to cooperate in every way. We did there, when I spoke with the, state auditor person that was in charge of doing the, most of the investigative work, she felt very confident that we had participated in providing information to the fullest extent. And so she was satisfied with that.
That's good to hear.
So that's the part that I think, at least at this point, is public information that we wanna share, but they will be sharing, and we will receive their final documentation whenever they have it completed.
I think it, and you brought it up, Mark, I think it's important for people to understand, we've got 44 credit cards that are out, that are being used by county employees for one thing or another. And out of all of that, out of everything that they found, total amount was less than $1,000. That doesn't make it right.
No?
Absolutely does not make it right, but when you read in the paper or listen on the news on what's going on around us, it's and a lot of it was really minor things. The one that comes to mind was the public defender's office buying a couple of suits for some
For their
defendants.
For a client
For-
going
for
to
cl- For
court
clients, cause they didn't have
from
decent.
Goodwill.
Yeah,
From
from
Goodwill.
Goodwill, they didn't have decent clothes to wear to court, those kind of things, so, it wasn't, anyway, I think everybody's done a good job with, providing the information. Lisa's done a tremendous job, a lot of long hours pulling stuff together for all of this. And all in all, when you're done, you've got less than $1,000 worth of discrepancies. And I use that term loosely,
Well,
discrepancy.
We've only went back 18 months on this as
Yeah,
well.
I understand,
Now,
I understand.
Right, I
We
think
don't know
that's a
what
good
went on
point.
beyond that.
Yeah.
I think that's a good point. It is, they have only went back 18 months, although part of their investigation led them to go back a little further than that. But for the most part, they went back 18 months.
If I could just add maybe something for the personnel board to consider as far as when you have issues with tax and all that. I attended a conference in Kansas City, Missouri. They have a state statute. They do not exempt anyone from sales tax and all the other taxes except Missouri and federal government. I have the email from them with
Yeah.
that. So might be something needs to go in is if you do your due diligence and if you get that documentation, maybe submit it with your claim.
That would be huge that we know you tried. But what the state auditor does specifically say is Nebraska sales tax.
Okay, then that would be, okay, just for clarification on
That's the
that,
one we
so-
can control.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that we don't
Somewhat.
have to work
Somewhat
so
control.
hard. Yeah.
Sometimes the vendors are tough to
Well, when
convince
you're-
and they don't,
And purchasing
biggest-
online,
yeah, my biggest issue is those Form 13s are now perpetual. Once they're filled out, they last forever unless you change them.
They
And it
can.
used to be.
They
yeah,
have always could last forever. You could check the box that says blanket. I filled them out.
I've filled many out. And
There,
they
there
used
to be a blanket. You
there-
could check blanket or,
Yeah, after 3. And then they'd always want a new one. And they got in the habit of asking for a new one. But they're, at this point, it very clearly says they're perpetual unless,
we inform them otherwise.
unless we tell them otherwise. And so, but we'll deal with the specifics. One of the things that we talked about was trying to look at the big policy things, which I think are included in this letter, that we want to be better. We want to examine all of these areas thoroughly, and be sure that we're doing it in the best possible way that we can to be able to identify any problems when these bills come through on a monthly basis. So that's the goal. And we'll know more when we get their final version sent to us. And then it'll be made fully public at that time. So is there any other discussion? Because if not, we're gonna need a motion to approve this letter and approve the chairman signing it.
I move that we approve the letter to the state auditor and that we approve the chairman to sign it.
Okay, so we have a
Can we get
motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to that effect. Any other discussion?
I just wanna know you could, we saw a couple typos.
I was gonna say,
Oh,
do
okay.
we need
Can
to
we
talk
u-
about the typos?
Okay,
Can we use your stamp?
With any corrections.
We
Yeah.
can use your stamp tomorrow,
Typographical
can't we?
corrections.
yeah, for my signature, yes.
You okay with that?
Does page 2 change as well? Because you could still have, oh, dang it.
It doesn't have to, I suppose. I just put the date of the personnel board meeting.
I can,
October 30th.
I can come back and sign it tomorrow if I
So
need to.
you want to, we just wanna discuss the changes to be made on your motion.
Yeah, I
There's a
think we need to
typo
talk
here,
about that
and
now.
Lisa just said she wants to add the date of the personnel board meeting
Okay,
on page 2, so.
which typo are we talking about?
Could probably get it done before the end of the night. Yeah.
Which typo are you
Just
talking about?
counties, at the second line of the
Okay.
beginning of the letter.
The county's apostrophe S.
Okay, so, grammatical.
But then on
minor
page
issue.
2, she said she wants to add the,
The date of
The
the.
date.
the date
Change
of
of
the
the
personnel.
date for the personnel board
Add
if
the
possible.
date of the, since it's like in a week.
Okay. Yeah, I don't,
I'll get it done.
so, the issue would be to approve the letter with those typo issues. And that's all okay with everyone?
Yep.
All right. It's okay with me. All right, so we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote.
They're not ready.
You'll have 4 yeses.
All right, motion's carried. So we'll send that letter tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's due tomorrow.
Right. Okay. So the next item is, old business. The old business is time clock plus and payroll processes. Any updates, Lisa?
October payroll is due tomorrow, and we've asked officials to turn in time sheets along with their payroll summary sheet so that we can compare what's being reported to what's on the actual timesheet. Because if the two don't match, it's not good. We need to do some retraining. We need to make sure things are right. Otherwise, the ultimate goal is to get rid of this summary Excel spreadsheet that everybody's required to complete, because all it is kind of a regurgitation of information. So anyway, trying to get our information as clean as possible.
Good job.
And it's moving forward.
I'm glad it's moving.
Okay. Any other questions on that? Okay, if not, the next one is the USDA Wildlife Services Program. Has anyone heard anything new on that?
Haven't heard back from that guy at all.
I've not heard anything.
He was gonna go out and see if he could hustle up some more money and get back to us. I still don't think it's a good deal. You know, we're spending 12 or 13,000 a year with him. And, anybody that wants any services done are gonna pay extra, I mean, on top of that.
Right.
So we would have a cushion, and we could start building a fund, you know, even if we put 10 grand in it a year, wouldn't take very long, we'd have enough money in there to take care of any problems we have.
I don't think he's asking right now for money from us, so.
Not at the moment, but they're going to. That's their
Yeah.
next move.
I think they will, particularly if they find some money with the state. And I think that was, he encouraged us to talk with our state senators to encourage them to try and find some additional funds that they basically took away in the last couple years, so. Okay, anything else on the USDA? All right, if not, we'll go down to the next item, which is public comment. Board of Commissioners will receive public comments on items discussed at this meeting or suggestions for items of discussion at future board meetings. The board will not take action on comments presented this date. Is there anyone here this evening under the public comments section? Mitch, I assumed you might be up here.
Well, that's wonderful news.
All right, good.
Mitch Wagers, MITCHWAGERS. So first, I want to say I agreed with, I'm going to say everybody, about the holding off until somebody was appointed to the interim commissioner seat. So Russ, thank you, and Mark, thank you for saying those things. And the second thing is, in lieu of the financial stress, if there's anything I can do that any of you can think of, I am more than happy to volunteer some time to do those things. I just want to offer that. That's all I got.
Okay, thanks. Any others with public comments? Let the record show there were none. Or none others, anyway. The next item is board and staff reports with discussion. And let's include the legislation in that if anybody from the board or staff has any updates on legislation. Let's start over in this direction. Is there any, the employees back here?
Sheriff's in the corner back there.
Sheriff is?
Sheriff, got anything?
All right. Then we'll go this way. Who do I see? Jean? Heather?
Kurt,
Okay.
Hang on.
I gotta write that down.
Yeah.
That's, what's today's date again?
Yeah. He already got to speak, that's the reason. All right. Other employees.
But I love it, Kurt, I love it.
You got others?
Ms. Kelly, I think we're up to you.
I went to election conference last week, and it was, turns out there's a lot of new clerk/election commissioners in our state, and more to come. We've got a lot, even, I think 3 for sure in the Panhandle that are retiring at the end of this year, not the end of their term next year, so it'll be interesting. It's like,
You'll be
I'm
the
one of the
trainer.
old people
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
the county
yeah.
now,
You'll be
or
the
in the
trainer.
You'll be the
panhandle.
experienced
Alright.
one.
You already had some training here, didn't you?
Pardon me?
You already initiated some training here for election people.
That was our, the program we use for voter registration,
Yeah,
the
good.
database for that, so we had that. I got a nice thank you from ES&S
Okay,
for hosting them, so thanks for letting us do that.
okay,
That's all I got.
all right. Okay, come on up.
No.
So I got an email today from the head of the Gearing Merchants Association. They're gonna be doing the trick or treating in the last 2, maybe 3 years. They've included us. And so if any of you would like to make a cash donation or candy, we kinda send out at least 2, kinda rotate through all the offices and people go out, and it's just a goodwill measure.
I see the email come through.
And we're also gonna do Lincoln Elementary.
Oh yeah, they're coming.
They're coming.
They came last year too.
Yeah, they
Oh.
came last year. Their preschool will come through in the morning and trick or treat in the building.
Okay. And so if we want to contribute to that, we need to
Either
see.
money or donations of
Candy.
candy. Last year we took all the donations of money and then just pulled it together, and I tried to order candy in bulk from Amazon, which I think saved us a little bit of money. And we don't purchase any of the candy with public funds.
No.
It's all donated by department heads and the offices and employees and stuff like that, so.
Okay,
All right?
all right, thanks for
Very good.
saying it publicly. Okay, I think, Ken, we're up to you.
What about that
I
table?
have a.
Oh,
sig-
yeah. We went right past. Somebody was pointing. Oh, go ahead.
On the
Lisa.
November 3rd meeting, we actually have set up a special meeting, which I guess I haven't asked all of you to be here at 2 o'clock that day. Hopefully that can be worked out. November 3rd, we're going to be learning about the new health insurance coming. We'll be migrating away from regional care into a different plan that this broker from Alliant Insurance has led us to. Insurance committee sat through a presentation here about a week ago, or a week and a half ago, and I feel very encouraged by what we're hearing, because we are a hard plan to place right now. Our expenses are very high, and they said it's not always easy to get offers, so, or get people wanting to scoop us up.
Are you going to be calling this as an official commissioner meeting then?
She's asking
Yes.
for all of you to be there.
Yes, I'm
Okay,
asking for all you to be there,
that's what
but
I
it,
thought.
okay, and
And
that's
what time did you say?
2 o'clock
2 p.m.,
before your next commissioner meeting,
which is
Do
on
we
Same day.
the same day.
November 3rd.
I have a
Hope-
question. Do you expect it to take 2.5 hours?
I hope not.
Okay.
And so we'll
Well, we'll
plan
have
that
to-
it won't.
Right,
So
we'll have to.
anyway, the people will be in town to do the presentation. And what I ask of the 4 of you, except Ken who's heard this, if I could meet with you like next week, and I can give you the pre-meeting, so you can either already have it in your head what they're talking about, so it's not all new information. If could
I
set a
would
time.
highly suggest you meet with her. There's a lot of information. There's a ton of information out there that's
So,
gonna happen here.
Yeah, and it has to be next week because I'm going to be going to the NERMA conference on Thursday
do
and
we switch
Friday, and
over?
it's the essential conference.
When do we switch over?
I am the contact person, what?
When do we switch over? Or have we switched over?
Just January 1.
January 1.
So, I know it's coming it's coming fast, and I keep having other brokers come and ask me if they wanna talk, but it's like, we're sticking with these people. So, anyway, that's what I wanted you to hear. Like I said, insurance committee and Mark Overman couldn't be there, so I had Troy sit in and Tom Setter sit in, detention center representative sit in, so it looks like a good direction for us, so.
Okay. Jason, do you have anything?
Just briefly, which is just getting back to the the assessor bringing the Turk case. I spoke to, the deputy county attorney, Kirk Fellholter, that's gonna handle that. I think the suggestion is that he come speak to you maybe in December at some meeting, just to have a public session on the strategy of what's gonna be argued on behalf of the commissioners, so that that point of view is, but I just suggested that we put him on the agenda in December, at a regular meeting and take it up that way.
That's, and that was gonna be my suggestion also, is that he knows how we felt about it when
Yes.
we made our decision, obviously.
It sounds like the Turk meeting itself would be after the first of the year, but
Like
he would
March or
come in
something.
December to get the entire commissioner's position on that.
Sounds good.
That's it.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. So you're all done?
Yep.
All right.
No, I'm not done.
Oh, it's your turn.
Yeah.
Go.
Several meetings I had. Insurance committee, lengthy meeting, went to the tourism meeting. A lot of exciting things going on that tourism board. They've got, I think the tourism group is kind of getting back together and doing a lot of really good things. Had a meeting with the aging office. They're in the same boat we are. They're not getting their funds distributed to them, so they're not sure what's gonna happen with that. Region 1 meeting. Region 1 will be setting up a meeting with us at some particular point in the process of putting together a crisis center in Kimball. They're purchasing, or going to be purchasing, the old hospital in Kimball. And then they've got a second party that's going to manage it and do everything for it, so they'll be here to explain funding and all that sort of thing for it. Went to Panhandle Disability, and we're working on detention center negotiations right now, trying to get their contract done. We meet again tomorrow. Hopefully come up with something relatively soon. So it's been busy. I've had a lot of other meetings, but nothing that doesn't matter, because they're not county. I very seldom have an evening that I'm free, so. That's it.
Couple things that, I wanted to be sure and mention, I know the, VFW is getting ready to have the Veterans Day Parade, and, Mike, you're probably real familiar with that. I got an invitation about participating in the parade. I thought maybe you guys did too.
We get invited every year too.
Right, I thought so.
Yeah.
So, anyway, just wanna remind you about it. Of course, it's Tuesday, November 11th. And, I know they'd like for us to RSVP if we could. So, I wanna remind you of that. One of the new things that I got, this evening was apparently, Kathy Weffel from. Wellful from City of Gearing, the clerk at the City of Gearing, asked, if the commissioners would approve Mark signing a letter of support for the casino racetrack being located south of Gearing. If so, I can send you a draft letter that they could use, and that's what I started reading a little earlier. The letter says we'd like to have it by the end of October, if possible. I wanted to make you aware of it. We don't have another meeting, I don't believe, before the end of October.
Well, we have one that was just gonna be to go over protests
26th.
on the
Oh, yeah.
27th.
27th.
Okay, well, I'll be here on both days then.
I don't know, you have to get in the side door on Sunday.
Yeah. Monday the 27th.
But like I said, I mean, we had it set up to just be a discussion over how we did during protest hearings.
Right.
Are we gonna,
Kind
We
of
can
our-
add that
our
too.
post-
We
are
can
we
add
gonna have
protest.
action items now? Add a
Well-
bunch of stuff to it?
I don't know. We need to decide that tonight, because, I mean, first of all,
Well,
I don't-
second of all, I might not have time to advertise
oh,
for a different way than how I already have it in the paper.
okay. I guess I'm a little concerned about simply, I don't know that that decision should be made here tonight,
I don't think it
We
can
can't-
be,
we
that's
can't
my
do that.
problem.
right?
So they
And
might
I
request
think
it by the end of the month, but you might have to have me do it, put it on the agenda for November 3rd.
Right,
Have you
And-
advertised this other meeting already?
oh,
Don't
I
you
see.
have to advertise it 24 hours
But you're
ahead?
afraid you can't meet the deadlines now.
You gotta advertise it 24 hours ahead, don't you, or 48 hours ahead?
I can't change the agenda 24 hours ahead, but
I
I
know you can,
need
but you
like
can
a
change
week
it, you can change
ahead.
it now.
You could put it,
Get it
you,
in the paper.
you could put it on the agenda for that meeting if you wanted to, correct?
Let's put it on that agenda.
Okay.
Well,
Do the best you can do.
the only concern I have is that I believe it'll be an item that you're gonna have a lot of people here.
The
And-
protest hearing one?
No, the one about, well, yeah, wherever you put this one about the supporting the casino, I'm concerned that the public needs notice and they need, I would prefer not to do it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't think that's fair to them, and I'm just concerned that you're gonna have people that wanna speak on that issue.
Can we do it
And-
after that, after
Can I
the,
tell her that
hearing?
the earliest that it would be considered would be
November 3rd.
November 3rd?
Well, I don't have a problem with that. I think Russ would like to try and
Well, if
help
that-
them out
Just trying to get,
sooner.
meet their deadline, if they're on a deadline, then it sounds like they are.
And understand, we don't have any say-so in it
Right.
anyway.
We don't.
It's a
just
city, it's a
blessing
city,
of all
it's
the-
a city of Gearing's decision, and they're just asking for, which they're asking for a lot of other entities to
But I
write
think
letters
Mark's
to.
right, we should have a public hearing
Yeah.
on that before we make
Virtually a
that
public hearing. It says, we'd like to have it by the end of October if possible. Doesn't say that
And-
they have a absolute
decision.
deadline.
If possible, okay,
If
I didn't hear that
possible.
if possible part, okay.
So,
We should be all right.
with that, I think we ought to do it November 3rd. And then that way it'll be on a regularly scheduled meeting, it'll be at our normal scheduled time. And we can give a opportunity for if people,
I think
see
we
it on the
should.
agenda, I'm of the opinion that we'll have several people here.
And if
That stuff back here. Thank you.
Yeah.
there's a lot of negativity,
Those
then
two
we
and
will
this one.
reconsider all that.
Yeah.
Can't imagine there would be, but I haven't heard anything negative.
I've been attending the meetings, not the council meetings, but I just lost the word.
Planning and zoning or
Planning,
something?
planning commission meetings.
Right.
Where they had to do their conditional use permit stuff. And I was there as a citizen, not as a commissioner. I always made that very clear before we started, because I wasn't speaking for anybody else. And there is some negative stuff with it.
Well,
I
yeah.
think there was more positive than there was negative on it.
Well, I think a lot of it is
will
the
be.
tax reimbursements we would.
Yeah,
Right.
as I say, it's not our decision anyway, it's the city of Gearing's.
Theirs to make,
Yeah.
right.
It's not our deal, but
It does,
still
it does
comes to
somewhat
county.
affect us, financially,
Does
and,
help.
so we'll need to at least, understand that part of it, but, anyway, I think we'll put it on the agenda, and then that'll be the correct way to deal with it, and this will give people, ample opportunity to plan to attend if they want to.
Suppose they should maybe send somebody
From
from the
Gearing?
racetrack, from the racetrack to
Oh.
speak of.
Maybe, I guess.
It seemed like we've met with people here before, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I thought somebody.
the head of the racing portion of it is from Nebraska.
Right.
He lives in eastern Nebraska, so.
But haven't they been here? They spoke to us.
Yeah.
Seems like it.
Couple years
I don't
Like a
know that-
couple years ago,
I
maybe?
don't think that they
Couple-
talked to us. They held
Couple years
public,
ago.
they held informational meetings over in Gearing about it, but I don't think that they've ever been here because we're not involved in it. It's not our decision to make. It's that decision falls solely on the city of Gearing.
Okay, so we'll put it on November 3rd.
I have a
agenda.
note, yes.
Okay,
Oh,
and that's
guess
at
what?
the
No, I
later
don't.
meeting, not
Have
the
a note about
earlier
the
meeting.
insurance.
It's gonna be a public hearing, right, Kelly?
Right.
Not a public hearing.
I think it should
Not-
be.
Why,
Even-
okay, and maybe Jason can help. Why would it need to be a public hearing, the fact that ours is not going to make a difference?
Well, I mean, if 3 people say yes and 6 people say no, we might wanna consider what they're talking about.
Well, we will
Well,
consider.
you still
No
can.
matter what, we'll consider.
We'll consider it.
We
Whether
let
it's
the-
just their testimony in a regular
Or-
agenda item, or call it public hearing, I don't know
But our public
officially
hearings don't
that.
last
They're
long.
just asking for a letter of
No,
support.
it
That's
won't be
all.
any different. If it's a public hearing, or if it's just let them speak, it's not gonna be any different,
Right, okay.
in my opinion. We're still gonna let them speak on,
As long as we're gonna let them speak, I'm.
right,
Well, but Jason, you might check into it. When you're having a public hearing, you're making a decision on something that affects this board, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So that decision is not going to affect this board. All they're doing is asking for a letter of recommendation from the county board. As they have, I think maybe from other county boards too.
right. It affects us
Yes, no?
a little bit in the fact that we
I
would
think
be
it affects me
receiving
how
money.
I wanna vote and
We'd
how
be
much people
receiving
have to
money
say.
from it. But I don't think we have to call it a public hearing, but we're gonna treat it like one.
As long as we do.
We're virtually gonna treat it like one.
long as
Encourage
we have-
public comment.
Encourage
When that
public
item comes
comment.
up.
How's that?
As long as there's
That's-
public comment with that item, I'm good.
Right.
We always allow
Right.
public comment.
Yeah, I get chastised because I allow it sometimes, but I like to let people speak.
I think it's a good idea to let people speak, and even especially while we're talking about this certain item.
Right.
I think it's important.
On this one, I do too, so, especially on this one, I should say. Okay, so that would be the plan. I guess to wind my stuff up, so don't forget, there is the State of the Valley, presentations and luncheon that is this Wednesday, the 22nd at 11:30. If you haven't already given an RSVP to the Chamber of Commerce,
Where's it at?
it's at the Hampton Inn. But if you haven't RSVP'd, you need to. Okay? This
Gearing
Wednesday-
Chamber of Commerce?
Scotts Bluff County?
Well, I'm, yeah, our company is a member of Chamber of Commerce, but
Is Gearing or Scotts Bluff, or are they combined?
they're combined.
Okay.
And, but of course, the State of the Valley, the format's a little different this year. You know, normally it's been the mayor of Gearing, mayor of Scotts Bluff, chairman of the commissioners, and, Terrytown has also sometimes participated. This year, some of the I know the mayor of Gearing, I don't believe is participating, but some of the Gearing staff is. There's been some, movement to make it a little bit different, and, the president of the college, Mr. Dart, is, going to facilitate the meeting, and, Kurt, Richter is going to represent the county, because part of they were asking us to address some of the transportation things, and partially because it represented some serious, cooperation things that goes around throughout the community. And then they also wanted to, look at some of the tourism things, and that started with Brenda addressing it, but then Brenda ended up not being able to be here on that date, and she asked if Dave Wolf could help represent us with tourism things, and so he's going to be, part of the county speaking people, and, I'm going to be there, but I don't really plan to, be involved with the speaking unless a subject comes up that I need to address, but I'm not seeing that happening right now.
Were you were contacted by Leadership Scotts Bluff also afterwards?
Yes, so I have.
I was supposed to talk to you about that and I forgot about it.
I just, glanced at that email,
Yeah.
and so, sent it to my office email, and so I'll deal with it in the morning.
And I apologize, they'd asked whether, if I saw you to remind you of it, so.
Okay.
I'm reminding you of it.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think that's the things that I have at this point. And October 27th is that meeting at 2:30, right?
Got me.
Pretty sure it's at 2:30. That's the one, the post,
Right,
the one with Robert.
right, 2:30.
2:30, I think. On October 27th. Okay. So, just want to confirm that. I think those are the primary dates for the rest of this month that I have. That's it.
The only thing I had that was county related was, I had a, emergency management advisory board meeting at Scotts Bluff Fire here about a week ago, and, that went very well. Our next meeting will be in Banner County, I believe in December, so that's about it.
Okay. Russ?
Met with Capwin, it's been about 3 weeks ago, and at that time, really wasn't a whole lot of stress on their bank account, but I haven't spoke with anybody recently, so I don't know what they're doing for funding. I know most of their funding is federal, a lot of their grants and things.
Do they still do the graph that shows if all funding stopped, how long they could operate?
Well,
Remember,
they show,
it was a line graph or something
their
they used to do.
agenda's 40 pages long when I go through that.
There's a lot of paperwork
It sure
over
could
there.
be in there.
There's a
but I
lot of
wasn't-
paperwork there.
There's a lot of paper.
Yeah.
Well, what was it, have you heard anything?
Oh, yeah, there she's sitting right here.
She's right here, yeah, come up here, please.
Yeah, so we're in the fortunate position over at Capwin, and it's Monette Leaks, and I'm actually the Capwin board president. A lot of the funds that we do, they've already been awarded to the state, so they're federal pass-through funds. So we should be good for a period of time over at Capwin. We do have as Ken mentioned, a projection of how long we could do business with if we didn't have any monies coming in, and I can't exactly, I know it's around 180 days. So we're in a good position, but we've been doing for quite some time the minimal hiring and no unnecessary costs and things like that, knowing that with a lot of the discussions about cuts for federal funding. So that's been going on for, I would say 2 or 3 months at the very least. And then, of course, the federal shutdown makes that even, a little bit of a tighter thing. But so far, most of the programs that we offer are not affected at the moment. So.
Are you getting him trained?
Appreciate it.
Getting Russ
Yes.
trained?
Takes
Yes.
a lot of
Yes.
work.
Yeah. Yes, lots of good questions, and then he has saved us a little bit of money when we were talking about construction stuff. So
Yeah, there you go.
All right,
yeah,
well, at least,
yep.
carry my
So-
weight a little bit.
Wow.
yeah. So
You earned your dinner, right?
I earned
yeah,
I earned
he did.
my-
He earned his dinner that day.
They
So
always have a good dinner too.
You
I'll
just
tell
have-
you what, they do.
They do.
You just have 24 hours of continuing education due right now, so you'll need to get involved quickly.
Okay, so then Cirrus House, they're kind of the same boat. They're kind of, wondering where they're at, just like we are. They're kind of sitting here wondering where they're at. I met with those guys, and everything's still moving along. But, and we got in the county, Road and Bridge, we're training Steve's breaking in a couple new blade operators, so I'd ask everybody be patient with the roads for just a little bit. But outside of that, I think everything's moving along pretty well. That's about all I have.
Okay. I don't think anyone mentioned anything about legislation, but I know you'll be going to the NACO conference. I know you'll hear some things down there. And so when you get back, I'm assuming you may have some things to report. Candace, of course, was here and gave us a pretty good update the last time. So anyway, we appreciate that.
Just one quick question to Kelly. I'm sorry.
No,
I didn't see her come up.
I did actually go to the NACO legislative conference. legislation, this year is going to be mainly the budget. They've gotta work on the budget, and it's a short session, so there's a lot of carryover legislation from last year that'll move forward, and then they won't be able to introduce quite as much new legislation because it's a shorter session. I would say that mainly the focus is going to be on trying to maintain local control of things and trying to, work on unfunded mandates. So there are also bills out there to try and increase some of the fees that we collect, because, like, for example, and title fees isn't one of them, but I don't think that title fees have increased since like 1982. So,
And I did kinda, forget the fact that some of us had been to the, NACO, board meeting or regional meeting in Bridgeport recently, and we had a pretty good update there from NACO's.
so,
Yeah,
thank you.
all right, appreciate it. Okay,
I've got one question for Kelly.
okay, go ahead.
You're anticipating a November 1 or somewhere in there for the replacement? or
That's our
maintenance?
deadline. We're hoping to have it
Oh, well, that's a deadline, okay. I knew November 1 was in
40
there somewhere.
45 days, comes out to November 1st from the date of the vacant, that I was able to certify the vacancy. Is that good wording?
Yes, so
That's
the
pretty good
idea
wording.
was to have a decision by the 31st.
And that, yeah. was-
Okay, I didn't
we hope
know. Okay, thank you.
And I haven't advertised for a meeting other than the 28th, so I think we're hoping to do it that day, God willing. Amen.
Okay, so, we have three things yet on the agenda. And, we're gonna be sure and do these executive sessions. We're gonna do these executive sessions separately as recommended by Jason.
Okay,
Meaning.
you're gonna leave the room and come back?
And then we're gonna come back, and then we're gonna leave the room again and come back. So we have two separate executive sessions, and we intend to do them separately.
Okay,
And then, when those are over, we have the detention center tour, which of course we go to the jail to go do that.
okay,
So,
when did we know that?
about an hour ago
Okay,
in here, so, that we discussed it
okay.
for sure, so. The next item on the agenda is an executive closed session regarding strategy session and update on status of union discussions for the Scotts Bluff County Detention Center union contract.
Can I move, is that your motion?
That's the agenda item. We can have, a motion. I just wanna be sure we know who needs to be included in that.
And so that's in the motion, motion number 1.
The people are,
Yes,
well, maybe I don't have that one directly in front of me, cause normally I read it off, but,
Lisa brought that up. It's just 2 pieces of paper. One's handwritten and the other one's typed.
Yeah, it's right there, I think.
oh,
Next
these
thing.
over here. Oh, okay,
Sorry about that.
yeah. So, you wanna read that motion?
Sure.
Ken's the motion maker?
Evidently,
Okay,
Yeah, he started it.
as long as I can read this, we'll be in great shape.
okay.
All right. I would move pursuant to section 84-1410, 19, within the Nebraska Public Meetings Law, that the board hold a closed session with Jason Ocean, Sheriff Mark Overman, Lisa Ryan, and I'm assuming the board, which is not
Yes.
there, for the purpose of a strategy session with respect to collective bargaining, update for union discussions for the Scotts Bluff County Detention Center contract. I further move that the closed session is specifically authorized by the Nebraska Public Meeting Law.
The only,
That's
the
not-
only
that's not-
change I would have is, and that's just because of my poor handwriting, but it is 1A instead of 19. 84, 14, 10, 1A.
I'll go with you on that one, cause it, all right.
Okay,
I'll second that.
all right. So, that's the motion, including those people. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? We'll go ahead and vote.
You have 4 yeses.
All right, motion's carried. So we'll go back and we can look at, it's 7:03. And, then we'll do this item, then we'll come back.
Sheriff,
All right.
you on that one too?
Sheriff's in on it.
I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay, looks like we have everyone here, so we'll be coming back from executive session, the time's 7:35.
Roll call.
Yeah. roll call.
Harris,
Here,
Meyer,
Here.
Reisig,
Yes.
Blue,
Yes.
so, we did have our executive session, update on status of union discussions. No action was taken, no votes were taken, so we were updated. Any other comments? All right, hearing none, we'll go on to the next item, which is the executive session, closed session regarding a personnel matter related to the evaluation of job performance and protection of the individual's reputation where a public meeting has not been requested. So, my motion on that executive session will be, I move pursuant to section 84-1410 of the reissue of the revised statutes known as the Nebraska Public Meetings Law, that the board hold a closed session with Jason Ocean and Lisa Ryan for the purpose of discussion of job performance of a person. I further move that this closed session is clearly necessary for the protection of the public interest and for the prevention of needless injury to the reputation of individuals, and that person has not requested a public meeting, and that sessions with respect to personnel matters and job performance are authorized by the Nebraska Public Meetings Law. Jason, there's another note up here in the top right, but I'm not sure
Nope, that's not
okay,
needed. Nope.
I can't read it. So,
I'll second that.
all right, so that's the motion and a second. Any other discussion?
I do.
You bet, yes.
Come on over, Mitch.
Don't sound so sad.
Well, go ahead.
Okay. Mitch Wagers, MITCHWAGERS. My only question regarding this is this particular executive session item consistent with the previous commissioners meeting executive session item? In other words, is it the same personnel?
You mean as the one that we just did?
No, the previous meeting
Oh, the previous meeting.
that I objected to at that meeting.
I'll let Jason answer that.
Is it the same individual?
I don't
The
think
same
you can speak
personnel.
on that, can you?
What's that?
The same personnel.
It's the same individual, though the individual, has specifically been alerted to this session and has specifically indicated that they did not request a public session.
Okay.
So even though it's an additional, meeting, they have also been advised, both of the first one and the second one, that they had the opportunity to request a public meeting and they chose not to.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate that. So I'm not objecting to this. I am saying that I would be concerned about tainting of the waters in this particular case, because so much time has elapsed. So that's where I stand with that. Thank you.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote.
You have 4 yeses.
All right, motion's carried, so we'll be going into executive session, time 7:40.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
Meeting will come back to order. Back from executive session at 8:40. Have roll call?
Harris,
Yes.
Reisig,
Yes.
Meyer,
Yes.
Blue,
Yes.
All right, so we're back from executive session on the second executive session item. We were, updated on the information concerning this issue. No, votes were taken, no decisions were made. And I believe that's all I have on it.
Okay, so, we're gonna recess to the detention center tour.
That will be
And
the next step, yeah.
Sheriff asked me to let you know that he would meet you there. He's left this meeting and he's
But he's
headed
gonna
out.
meet us there.
Yes.
Good. All right. So, no further action here. We will be recessing this meeting until we get over to the jail, right?
Okay,
And
yes.
then, okay. We're
That's
in
a
recess.
recess. Was that a recess swap, or was that a
Yeah,
adjourned?
a little
swap?
later.
I don't know, I think later in
later.
the evening, the harder it gets.
I saw my